and welcome back to the Brandon Can Win channel, and today we're going to be talking about Episode 2, Duality, of Season 1 of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, my thoughts, and then since this is the last half of Season 1, I should give you guys my honest opinion about Season 1 as a whole. So yeah, spoilers up until Episode 2, because I'm going to talk spoilers for Episode 2 as well. So when you first boot up the game now, it'll do another little cute cutscene of Joker pretty much writing a message to Brainiac saying how he's doing with the Suicide Squad and like, oh, I'm doing so much better and thank you for giving me a second chance to like kill everyone and stuff like that. It's just another animation about doing that. And yeah, then Episode 2 begins. Episode 2 is called Duality, and it's based off of Two-Face. So obviously the duality part of it being Harvey Dent and Two-Face being two different personalities. So we got Two-Face inspired weapons, which I don't care to get as much as I cared about the Scarecrow ones, because Scarecrow is like one of my favorite comic book villains of all time. But if you're a Two-Face fan and you've been waiting for them Two-Face weapons, then this is your time to do it. So first, I want to talk about something in the shop, because the last video I made on Suicide Squad, I went pretty damn hard on them with the outfits of the, I forgot, some ghost dude, whatever. Anyways, if you didn't see that video, basically I was upset because they're essentially carbon copies. They're essentially like another color palette you could have used for the fugitive outfits, but instead they made it a whole nother outfit that you have to pay $10 per character to get. Now, they did release a new set of 4 outfits, but I will say these ones are worth the money, kind of. I still think that the outfits are too expensive, but you know, it just is what it is with these kind of games. Skins are going to be expensive, outfits are going to be expensive. But opposed to $10 or $8, and they're actually a little bit different. In fact, the Joker one is actually a reference to the final boss in Arkham Asylum, which was, well, Titanified Joker. And that's kind of what that is. It's Titan-infected Joker, Harley, Boomerang, and Shark. Now, I think Shark pulls it off pretty good. I think the other two don't. And Joker, of course, definitely pulls it off because, well, a variation of him was able to pull it off. So this variation was able to pull it off as well. And I think that gives more hope that there will be like legacy skins in a way, because that kind of does seem like a legacy outfit. So that's kind of cool. And they're $8 a piece, like I said, like 800 Luthor coins. So yeah, it's still not the ideal price. I think the ideal price would be like at the most $5, but you know, that's me just stretching things. Like I would get $10 if you're buying like, or $12 around there. If you're buying like a whole set for all the characters that get it, it is what it is. I can't make the prices, but I'll just say this. I'm glad these ones are at least worth the money. I'm just surprised they're cheaper than the Gentleman Ghost one. What the hell? Anyway, so Episode 2 pretty much is we're still in the Joker Earth, and there's a second Brainiac that we now have to take down. So they added a new kind of mission that I thought was actually pretty cool in concept. It's called Out of Orbit, I believe. And basically, your goal is to destroy these interdimensional towers that is making it so Brainiac is able to find, you know, other Earths and stuff. And so by destroying these towers, you're able to stop him from, well, doing that and causing Organization 13 Brainiacs to become like Organization's 200 Brainiacs or whatever. And I gotta say, I had a lot of fun with this one. Basically what you do is it's pretty much like a hack mission, like 3 hack missions in one mission, but you also at the same time you have to fight enemies from 2 different dimensions, the Earth one dimension and some other dimension. And what you do is some enemies cannot be hurt by you if you are not in that dimension. So you have to look at hack and then you just flip into another dimension, and it's really cool in concept, honestly. Then once hack has been able to hack the terminals of the tower, you get a weak spot, and you repeat that cycle 2 more times after that. And I like everything about it. I thought it was a fun addition. Kind of stressful, but it was like the fun kind of stressful, you know? It's like it wasn't too bad. The problem I have though is that I wish it was easier to swap between dimensions besides having to look at Hack. That was kind of annoying. But besides that, I thought that was a great new mission to add. So yeah, kudos to them for that. They added more Green Lantern variants, however, this time around, it didn't seem like they were as obnoxious as they were with the new Green Lantern variants in episode 1. This time around, they seem a lot more defeatable, I guess is the word. It could be because I now know how to take down the Green Lantern shields pretty well, but I don't know. They're pretty much now the brutes can be Green Lanternified, and yeah. I just think that they're kind of nailing it down with like the enemies and the new missions and stuff like that. So that's good. And of course there's a couple Riddler races that are added in, but pretty much for that it's just for more color patterns for Joker. So if you really don't play Joker that much, then you really don't need to do them. There's really no need to do them if you don't care about Joker. Also, they've added, oh my gosh, there's a lot of incursion missions to do now. You've got a lot to do. You got like 6 more, and they're different ones than from episode 1, which I can appreciate. There's a couple that are like the same, but for the most part, it's different. And you still go to Joker Earth, but it's a different part of it, and it's with the Daily Cackle, which was advertised on the initial, preview of season 1. So that was really cool to see, and I like that even though it's still Joker Earth, it's at least a different part of it that we haven't seen yet. So that was pretty cool. I was happy with that. The only thing that's confusing, like lore wise, when it comes to like these Brainiacs and stuff, is that like why is there 2 Brainiacs on Joker Earth? Like, shouldn't there be a Brainiac on different Earths? Or, like, what's going on? Because I kind of feel like they have a collective conscious. Like, they're, like, in a way, one being or something. I don't really know. But, for some reason, there's a second Brainiac on Joker Earth. And they're just trying to wrap up and get out of Joker Earth and find the next one. And speaking of Brainiac, that's a good segue into the boss fight. The boss fight in episode 1 with the Green Lantern variant, oh my god, I hated it. It was a pain in the ass. I don't know, I just didn't like the Green Lantern fight. It was too hard, and yeah. Then if we go back to, episode 0, season 0, whatever, with the Flash variant, it was pretty much a copy and paste of the Flash fight, but, a little bit harder. This Superman variant fight was actually really cool because it really shows that as much as Brainiac wants to be, or like wants to use the power of these superheroes, you kind of see that without like his help and technology and stuff, he can't do that because Superman is like mainly powered by the sun, right? Well, because of the atmosphere of that Earth, really he can't take in that sunlight. So what he does is he drops a bunch of like gems on the ground that help feed him like solar power. And even Boomerang calls him out during the fight that, oh, you have to use that. The real Superman doesn't have to. So it kind of shows that, and it also really switches up what the battle is like. So it's like a totally different boss fight in a way. So I really like that because it made the fight, even though it is like Superman clone fight in a way, it still felt like an original boss fight as well, which I really appreciate. Like, I feel like Rocksteady are going in the right direction when it comes to gameplay and when it comes to like the bosses and stuff like that. So now let's talk about the not so good. You probably noticed I didn't mention much story at all. That's because there's not much to add. There's really no extra story at all. Not even a tease at season 2. Like, we know season 2 is going to be like in an ice world or whatever, and featuring Victoria Freeze. But it's like they could have showed us at least a little tease after beating Superman, the Superman variant. But once you beat the Superman variant, you're you're just back in the Hall of Justice, and you can just max that out, do mastery for all the other ones. And yeah, so it's really not super rewarding once you beat the Superman variant, besides saying, hey, now I've beaten Brainiac number 3. 10 to go. Let's go. So I was hoping that with, episode 1 being all about getting the Joker from Brainiac, that episode 2 we get some more insight onto maybe some other going-ons, or, like I said, some sort of teaser for season 2. But we didn't get that. Here's where I come to my thoughts on kind of this structure that they're doing. So I get what they're doing. They want to put a specific supervillain, kind of dedicated as, put him in the game somehow as you get, it's focused around, Fear was focused around Scarecrow, Duality with Two-Face. But when you have these episodes out, and they kind of explained it like it's the next issue. People can't wait for the next issue. It's like when you don't have anything more to add in a live service game that's supposed to be story driven, it doesn't make people look forward to the next thing that are playing Suicide Squad for the story. Now, nowadays at least, I'm playing it for the gameplay. But the story part is intriguing to me still, because I consider myself at least an Arkham fan. But, it's just, it's disappointing that the second half was really nothing. There was no story. Yes, there's a lot of new gameplay stuff added. Yes, there were no new missions to do. There was a point to go back to the game. For those who were there for the story, there's no reason. I don't know. I feel like really they didn't even need to do the whole episode 2 thing. They could have just had episode 1 and just have the one Brainiac, and instead of making it 2 Brainiacs a season, just 1. But I don't know. I feel like with that, I just hope that future seasons do add more story on episode 2. So what my plan is when season 2 comes around, I'm going to cover episode 1 of that and episode 2 of it like I did with season 1. But if it's the same thing where there's no story added on, nothing like that, then seasons 3 and 4, if we get those, I'm just going to cover the whole season, both episodes, when they come out. Overall, I'm happy with where the game is going gameplay-wise. I hope it goes somewhere story-wise soon. And yeah, while season 1 did add on to the story, I do feel like if it's just going to add little nitbits of story, then what's the point and what's there to look forward to, really? So yeah, those are my thoughts on season 1 and episode 2, Duality. What do you guys think? For the people who are still in the game, what do you guys think of these changes, these additions? Do you agree with me that the gameplay and the experience is better, but the story part is very, very lacking? Or do you not care about the story part and, as long as the game's fun, that's all that matters? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know. If you're new, subscribe, hit the notification bell when you do. And yeah, so long and good night.